Hello! Welcome back to Drybone's Garage. In this episode, we are going to be working on the chassis some more. This video is supposed to be a part of a bigger whole of where me and my dad tried to make a hot rod out of a 63 Corvair. This is my first hot rod. What happened so far was we took the Corvair home and we started to work on it until we found out there was a problem with it. It turns out that its chassis, its frame, was pretty rotten out. So what we ended up doing was we took a trip to the boneyard to find a chassis suitable for a Corvair, and we landed on a G-body Cutlass, which is where this chassis came from. We spent last episode stripping it off, and this is what we're with here. Alright, so brand new day, brand new me, new pants. I'm going to try and attempt to use this to grind some of the rust off of the chassis. I have this mask because the thought of breathing in rust doesn't appeal to me. A little nervous about running power tools without my dad around, but we'll see how this goes. Boy, this thing is heavy. I feel like I'm lifting weights. Yeah. Look how dusty the room is. Dusty. My limbs turned into noodles after holding the weight, so I decided to take some bolts out of the frame instead. That was hard. Alright. Was hard indeed.
Yeah, they were trying to kill themselves. That's compression thing.
We decided to pick the engine off the chassis in order to clean it better. What are you trying to do there?
We're going to try to just cherry these nuts a little bit. Sometimes with the heat expansion, you can break the rust free without having to cut anything or wreck anything.
smells kind of funny.
Yeah, get in here and get a wrench on the other side. If we can save the rest of these, that's awesome, because that'll locate the rear end in the car. And from there we can move it around until those bolts get here. What we have burning here is the rubber bushings that we're never going to use again because these are cut, right? Trying to move this around so we don't over-concentrate the heat in any one spot. Try and get nice, even heat expansion, penetration, whatever you want to call it. We're not trying to cut this. We're trying to get the nut to agree with us that it wants to come off of here. I don't think we're going to save this one.
How about them apples, kiddo? You got a chassis. And it rolls. Can have some fun with that.
I think that's it for today.
Yeah, I'm done. I've had enough.
We also decided to tilt the frame to clean underneath it. We then wiped the frame down with mineral spirits to clean it up some more. Alright, so it's the next day. The chassis is sprayed with the rust converter, so I'm gonna film my reaction to it, I guess, and see how it's coming along so far. Oh wow! It looks a lot more metallic. Yeah. It's gonna take a few days, but it should be done soon.
And we'll keep it out of the weather while it dries and still give us room to bring your car in. Hopefully avoid the worst of the blizzard. Let's get this cleaned up.
That's it for Dry Bones Garage.
For this episode of Dry Bones Garage.
Okie dokie. See y'all next time, I guess.
Have fun!
Yeah. Yeah. Alright, I gotta get off this tire. This hurts my legs. And these gloves won't work. My eyeballs. Oh, I'm sorry. We then wiped the frame down with mineral spirits to clean it up some more. Yes. Final thoughts?
Give me a minute to think of something intelligent that's witty, if I can.
Okay.
My IQ isn't that high.
Have any final thoughts?
Me?
Yes.
Final thought? I ain't dead yet.
I didn't mean it like that. I meant for the chassis.
Well, I'll have to see how this rust treatment works. They said it could take a few days for it to actually do its thing. It's going to put us in a bit of a pickle, space-wise. Nothing I can articulate right now.
Okay.
Got a whole bunch of unformed thoughts, but nothing that I can really... No Yoda today. Sorry.
See you next time.
Thanks for watching.